Hello folks, today we are going to demonstrate Download Play for the Nintendo DS. What is Download Play, you may ask? So how do you play a video game with a friend without internet? If you're playing on a home console, it's usually as simple as putting in a game that has multiplayer mode and plugging in another controller. But what if you're playing on a handheld console? They're made for just one person to hold and look at the screen, so in addition to your console and game cartridge, your friend needs to have their own console. Not too complicated, but now these two consoles need to communicate with each other, so we add a link cable. We still have a problem though. You have a cartridge, so you're fine, but your friend doesn't. So your console doesn't really have anything to communicate with. Your friend needs to go and get another cartridge of the game you're playing, or a different game that's compatible with yours, and now you can play with each other. But this kinda sucks. You need to buy two cartridges to be able to play something with a friend. This changes, however, with Download Play. From what I can tell, it started with the Game Boy Advance, but this particular aspect really isn't too well documented in an accessible way. Do correct me if a previous console had a similar function. With Download Play, if we obtain a game that supports the feature, all we need is one cartridge, two consoles, and a link cable, or more for more players. The GBA doesn't have a home menu or anything, but its console firmware has more going on. If you're hosting from a game cartridge, your friend's empty console can download certain parts of your game onto its RAM. Enough data for it to be able to play that game's multiplayer mode. Since it's only on the RAM, the data is deleted once you turn off the console. I'll link to a video demonstrating Download Play for Game Boy Advances right now. We are going to do this with DS games. Now, my capture card is on a 3DS, but 3DSs are backwards compatible with DS games, so that is not going to be an issue. We get ourselves a DS cartridge of a game that supports the feature of Download Play. We put it in and launch it, and we navigate to where we can host a game for Download Play. There we go, it's hosting. Now anybody with any kind of DS or 3DS console can join in. And all of these consoles have wireless capabilities, so no more having to buy a link cable to be able to do this. If you are running this on a DS, or DS Lite, they're the same thing, you don't need a cartridge to connect to this game. We just boot the console. Let me adjust the brightness so we can see at least somewhat better. There. Now, in the console's home menu, we go to the right here to DS Download Play, and the console found that my main console is hosting a game, so we connect there. Alright, and it's connected for now. Now, DSi's and DSi XLs are a bit different from DS's. They have a different home menu and such, but not to worry. Again, this console has no cartridge in it, and here in the home menu, we just find the DS Download Play icon. And we find the same menu that the other console has, and we can connect to the console that is hosting. Again, 3DSs are backwards compatible with DS games, so here is a 3DS that has no cartridge inserted. We can boot the console. And here in the home menu, we look for the 3DS's Download Play icon. It gives us a choice between 3DS or DS. That's right, many 3DS games support their own version of Download Play, but although we are hosting from a 3DS, we are hosting a DS game, so we want DS here. And we find the exact same menu that the others had. And now we can see that all three of them are connected to the host, so we can start the download process. And so far it has downloaded the special download screen. This process might take a minute or two, but in the end everybody is connected. Let's go ahead and start a match. And there we go. These four consoles are now connected to each other for the game. even though these 3 here do not have a cartridge inserted. Now, oddly enough, even if one of them disconnects, the game still continues. They just die, at least in this particular game. But if the host turns off, then of course there's a connection error on the others. And since it was only downloaded to the RAM, any remnants of the game are gone from these other consoles. And there we go. That is how Nintendo DS download play works. Hope you all have a fine day.